Post-WrestleMania. Funny thing about that song, because I've posted the actual lyrics to that song, WrestleMania.
Yes.
It's called WrestleMania, and the chorus is, oh, WrestleMania, fighting to survive, pump it up. And the lyrics before the chorus comes in talk about Survivor Series.
That's right. Yeah. I listened to it. I'm like, that's not WrestleMania.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it was weird.
now you know.
And the more you know. Folks, it is ISUXDIX Hearts Wrestling, Episode 9. I hope it's better than WrestleMania 9, because that was a real bad one. Probably the worst one. But you know what wasn't the worst one? Segues. WrestleMania 30. Guys, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
It majorly overachieved.
Yeah.
I was dreading having to watch it.
Yeah, there's parts of it I was really dreading watching.
Yeah, I was going in the same way I've gone in most of the last several years.
Last 10.
Not really.
9.
Just not really looking forward to much. And expecting to leave. Well, no. I actually knew I wouldn't leave bummed like I have the past bunch of years for the Cena Rocks and the Cena Mizes that set up the Cena Rocks. But, because I was pretty sure Amtrak would win, and that would at least be good. But kind of figured it would be kind of blasé overall, and it was actually really good. I was, like, stoked from the get-go, actually, because...
Little disappointed the social experiment didn't happen.
I know, and who was on board? Someone posted they were on board with the social experiment. Was it TJ, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was like, man, I kind of hope that happens now, too.
Yeah.
But no, WWE did not have the balls to not... to not...
Make money.
Yeah, pretty much. And actually, it's funny, because now is like the ideal time for them to try dumb stuff that doesn't make money, because they just have the network, and they're going to sign a new TV deal, and then basically nothing they ever do again matters.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have to sell anything again, ever. They just have to not get canceled.
Which is probably impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised in 2014 pro wrestling is still a thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's there. It's probably always going to be there, too. But, yeah, this show was, it was really good. I think most people are saying it was the best since 20.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And, like, some people argued with me that this was better than 20. And
I'd have to watch both, because I don't think I've seen...
forever since I've seen 20.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen 20 since 20.
I think the thing is, because 20 has 2 title matches, and they're both really good.
Yeah.
And it's got a much better Undertaker match. And it's got a...
It's not that much better. It's not a great one. It's the second Taker Kane.
But it's not as messy as this one was.
No,
But this one was
true.
messy for a reason. Because Undertaker's brains were scrambled. He was given a brain scrambler.
And he's 50.
And he's 50. But yeah, like, I don't know, and it just, every match on WrestleMania 20 to me, for the most part, had some kind of storyline build-up to it, and that was actually coherent and made sense, as opposed to just, like, randomly making things happen, like, you know who we need to get on this WrestleMania? New Age Outlaws.
Kane and the Outlaws, yeah.
Right, but I mean, like, it had Jericho Christian, which was good. It had...
Jericho Christian is like an all-time underrated match.
Yeah.
It's a really good match, and nobody talks about it.
And you know what? It had a good... I like the backstory to it, which was the whole...
The Trish
Trish
stuff.
and Lita, like, oh, we can sleep with them.
We can fuck anyone.
And then...
Bet a Canadian dollar.
A Canadian loony. And, I don't know. I like 20 a lot. Not like this one wasn't good, but I thought 20 was really good.
Yeah, 2019 and 17, all very good.
And 18's got some good stuff to it.
And some not.
And some not good stuff to it.
Some real not.
Well, so does 19, though. 19 definitely has Undertaker versus Two Big Fatties.
And, yeah, Taker, Two Big Fatties, Triple H proving that racism is right. But besides that, 19's a really good show.
Yeah, 19's got an amazing main event. Jericho Shawn.
Yeah.
Rock Austin.
Rock Austin. Vince Hogan.
Yeah. It's good. But we're not here to discuss those again. We discussed those a little bit in the previous podcast. So
Yep.
this one we're here to talk about 30.
Do you have, I know this is really something that should have been done before we started, but do you have those lists of people's matches we did for the last one? Is that around somewhere?
Yeah, it's in the thing behind you.
All right, keep talking and I'll grab it. I just want to see where Undertaker's match is going to slot, because it's going to be a lot lower than I predicted.
Buttholes. 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 Buttholes.
That's not how you fill time.
Worst
That's
time
how
filler.
Ron Swanson fills time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's right.
When he's typing words. America. Buttholes. Shark.
All right, I completely
Megaphone.
forget. That was actually a great reference.
Yeah, because I think before we went into this, so you had said that you
I'm
thought
going to
that,
type every
that
word I know.
if Brock had overachieved this, or the Brock Taker match had overachieved, it would be top 5, I think is what you said, or it would move towards top 5.
I'll be able to tell you when I see the
I don't think we actually
list.
wrote it down though. That's a thing.
No, but I can be able to tell from the list where I thought it would go.
If I can ever find the damn list.
There we go.
So I think.
I also love that the
Oh, we
because
didn't write the Undertaker ones down there. The Undertaker ones are on Facebook.
shit, you're right. Yeah, I love that when
my Facebook won't go back to it.
why not?
I don't know. It stops at April 7th.
Can't you like load? Isn't there
Your
a
Facebook
load
is too
more?
busy tracking you. That's why.
Yeah, it is. It's not loading. Hey, I can phone you.
What does that solve?
Facebook is telling me I can phone you.
Okay, there's
Great.
two things
Okay.
about this WrestleMania that I actually didn't like that just came to mind. One was
No spoilers.
yeah.
People might not have seen it yet, Kelly.
Well, too bad.
Yes, we're giving our spoiler-free WrestleMania review.
Hogan, Rock, and Austin slapping each other's butts in the ring
Yeah,
at the beginning.
The thing is, I think I liked the fact that like, it was cool that they were all there,
Yeah.
and the fact that they were making fun of Hogan for fucking up. It was
Okay,
pretty fun.
that's fun.
But yeah, dick sucking went way too long.
they went very long.
You're the best wrestler of all time.
No, you say all your catchphrases. Yeah,
You want me to strike a pose?
that was. Yeah, I guess it's good for like the WrestleMania crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing for me is like, I get it that Hogan and Austin and Rock are the 3 biggest draws of all time, but you know you had to cut out the actual tag team title match. You had to cut down the Shield tag match so that you could have those 3 guys come out and put each other's dicks in their mouths.
Have a three-way
69.
a three-way 69 for it had to be half an hour.
It was close to half. It was close
Yeah.
to half for sure.
Because I know by the end of the first hour, I think Bryan and Triple H was still going.
Yeah.
The other thing I hated was all the legends schlocking around with the slam toys and
yeah.
advertising that.
Oh,
That was
one
painful.
thing I heard after the fact that I didn't recognize that actually made the whole thing okay for me, because in that skit they had an old ref.
Yeah, Danny Davis.
Fucking Danny Davis.
Danny
I didn't know it was Danny
Davis.
Davis. I'm like, okay, that all is forgiven.
Danny Davis, who briefly became a wrestler.
Yeah, but wore gear that looked like referee stripes.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, no, I was surprised he was even still alive.
Yeah, I haven't heard the. Well, I guess he trained there for a
Who
while.
cares? He's dead.
Even though we just saw him, he's dead.
He's dead.
We just
Okay.
saw a warrior. And
That's true.
And
Did you
Warrior.
see the Warrior? Wait, did every old person we see at WrestleMania die?
Only the ones that were
Is Slaughter dead? Is
only,
Farouk dead?
only the ones that were making their first appearance in years.
Okay. Is Carlos Colon dead?
He might be.
well, if that's for
Was
it.
Carlos Colon dead before he was?
Well, here's the
elected
thing.
in the Hall
Carlos
of Fame?
Colon is in an exclusive club of guys whose foreheads look like that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say an exclusive club with Vince McMahon of guys who have covered up murders.
Yes, that's true. Him,
Abdullah
the Butcher, New Jack, and Dusty Rhodes. They are
New
exclusive.
Jack's in the Hall of Fame?
No, just guys whose foreheads look like that.
There's a lot of other guys, too.
That's true. But they're the 4 that come directly to my mind.
Wait, New Jack's not in the Hall of Fame? That's what
not
I'm
yet.
That's what I'm learning from this.
Maybe it's like baseball where you have to have been retired for 5 years before you can be eligible because New Jack is probably still wrestling. Mm-hmm. And let's not speak ill of him because he knows your name.
He knows my name, so
He doesn't know Dan's name, so that's okay.
no, he knows him as I get Daniel Maccabee. So he'll have a harder time finding him.
Yes.
I don't
also
know.
not government names.
Yeah, I don't know why I never figured that out.
I don't know.
Just use my real name for everything. That's going to bite me in the ass.
Well, I agree with Kelly's points of those are things that were not fun on the WrestleMania. But the opening match on WrestleMania was the opposite of a letdown. On the pay-per-view match.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Because we didn't see the four-way tag.
Because it was only on the network.
Because they needed to bump time, and because in Canada, unless you can get around the legal system, cannot get the WWE network here yet.
Yeah.
Because they still have TV rights with Sportsnet.
Yeah.
And until those rights run out, we are
no
fucked.
network. Yeah. So, which is too bad.
Why
because...
we have the internet?
Yeah, that's true. But even the thing is, like, we went to YouTube expecting it to be on YouTube, and it wasn't.
Or
and
on, like, the pay-per-view pre-show.
Or we went to the website, and the website said, only on WWE Network. We're like, well, great, thanks.
Thanks for nothing,
Not only did they not let us have the network and screw us out of the tag team title match, they also jacked up the price of WrestleMania by $20.
Yeah.
Because regular pay-per-views are
50?
45, aren't they?
I don't know.
45 for regular pay-per-views on HD.
Was this 69?
WrestleMania was $69.99.
Yeah.
So they jacked up the price because not only... And, like, we can't even pay for the network.
That's
So
pretty standard, though, for WrestleMania.
But not $20. It's usually $10 more. And that's just because we can't order the network, so they're not making the money off of us for the network.
Yeah.
So like, hey, let's jack it up another $10.
That's how they get their payday.
I know. Yeah, Canada, outside of the United States, where you can't get the WWE network, that's who paid for all of those guys' WrestleMania paydays.
Yeah.
All those guys in the Battle Royal. I just gave... Okay, I didn't pay Tristan any money because he didn't want money.
Yeah.
So Tristan just paid $70 that went directly into the pocket of Titus O'Neil.
I was going
Kelly.
to say Justin Gabriel.
Yoshitatsu. Any of those guys got paid directly by Tristan.
Yep.
Fat Yoshitatsu. But yeah, so we didn't get to see we got to see the highlights of it and the...
Yoshi Fatsu.
Yoshi Fatsuit. Yoshi Fatsuit. But yeah, so we didn't get to see it.
But it was apparently really good.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't even give a rating to it because I didn't see it. But Meltzer gave it.
Our predictions...
Resident ISUXDIX fan, Dave Meltzer.
Yep. We were all pretty similar with our predictions. Kelly said 3, I said 3 1/4, Drew said 3 1/2. Meltzer, who saw it, gave it 3 3/4, so nearly a 4-star match on the pre-show. And we didn't get to see it.
I win.
Drew wins, I guess. To be fair, Dave Meltzer's word isn't law. It's just something to sort of judge by.
Hey, you tell that to him.
I won't.
Exactly, because you're afraid of him.
I would
Because
never.
he's the law.
I would never.
Dave Meltzer was he knows never laced up a pair of boots. The number one complaint people have against Dave Meltzer who are wrestlers.
And apparently the complaint was being made by Super Dave.
Now I'm gonna jump over a bus. Give that a star rating. Fuji, light me.
I'd have a hard time picking you out of a lineup of faggots.
I can't believe he said that to Mr. T.
It was the 90s.
No, 80s.
It was the 80s?
80s.
I was like, it was the early 90s.
Bizarre.
It was bizarre, yeah. It was 80s, yeah.
I can't believe he said that.
Yeah.
And then Mr. T ate him.
Yeah, that's true.
And for doing so, was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, it had the worst speech.
My mother.
My mom raised 40 kids by herself.
My mother loved to fuck. My mother loved to fuck then almost as much as I love Jesus now. Let's talk about it.
Well, let's discuss Jesus.
Yeah.
Call 1-800. Give me a penny.
Okay. So the first match
The first match we saw.
was Daniel Bryan and Triple H.
Let me tell you about this match.
It was great.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Really good.
I was...
Triple H's entrance, like always, awesome. And
fantastic entrance.
this coming directly from me, I've already mentioned it to his face, to Dan.
Oh, I thought you were going to say to Triple H's face.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I talk to him all the time, on the phones. Him and Steve Richards, we're a three-way group.
Do you call him H-Bear?
I call him H-Bear all the time. Oh, yeah.
Before 2004, was it Chris Benoit, and then after it was Stevie Richards?
Or was it the Big Show? And then you saw that he wasn't No Mercy.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it was Stevie Richards.
I said this to Dan's face. I'm going to repeat it over the air. that when the Triple H came out and I said, hey, look, that's Sasha Banks and Charlotte. And Dan's like, that's not Charlotte. That's not Charlotte. Like, Charlotte's face is worse than that. And I was like, no, like, it's tall enough to be Charlotte. It's fucking Charlotte. He's like, it's not Charlotte.
Were they his entrance girls?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, it's not Charlotte. And then, sure enough, guess who the fuck it was? Charlotte. So Dan, suck it.
I don't know who Charlotte is.
Ric Flair's daughter.
Oh.
And she wrestles in
NXT
NXT.
wrestler.
But yes, I picked out Sasha Banks immediately because she's the only black girl I find attractive. And Charlotte's like 6'2", and Ric Flair is ashamed she's still alive.
The wrong kid died.
The wrong kid of the other two that could have died.
The right kid was David. Charlotte's probably fine.
No, she's a girl, so Rick doesn't give a shit.
That's
but
true.
David is the one that should have died, and Reed should still be alive.
Yeah.
Because he was proud of Reed, not David.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying what Ric Flair's thinking.
Jesus.
You disagree? You think he's prouder of David than Reed? Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know. David got beat up by the Undertaker on TV. That's pretty good.
David never had the WWE World title, did he?
No, he
He
had
had something.
the tag titles
He
with
was friends
Crowbar.
with Crowbar.
Yeah, he had the tag titles with Crowbar.
Crowbar wore jeans with knee pads over them.
What
Yeah,
a
he did.
terrible look. Almost as bad as Kane's slacks with elbow pads.
All right, so
Here's the thing. When he wore regular wrestling gear, he didn't have elbow pads. And
Yeah.
now all of a sudden he has to have elbow pads?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
more corporate now.
Elbow pads are corporate?
Elbow pads are corporate. Yeah, they're very libertarian.
All right. Libertarian elbow pads. I'm okay with that.
Less government, more elbow pads.
Yeah.
Is what I've been hearing.
That's fair, I guess. Okay, so this match
It was great.
was great. Yeah, it was really good.
It was weird because it was kind of a Chris Benoit tribute match.
Yeah.
There was both a crossface and rolling Germans in it, which was weird, but awesome.
It's again, they just like to recycle storylines and things, and they don't care if that guy was a murderer.
And like the crossfaces just become you don't do like if you're not a submission guy, well just do a crossface.
Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels.
Shawn
Triple
Michaels,
H.
John Cena, Triple H.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have your own signature thing, steal it from a dead guy, because what's he going to do? Come back from the grave and smother you with a pillow? Too soon?
No, but right on time.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good.
I like that Triple H was utilizing the crossface chicken wing,
Yes.
which I want to start doing.
Yep.
And he was definitely doing it.
he was doing it tight.
Full-on crossface chicken wing, not
Yeah.
Bob Backlund crossface
yeah,
chicken
with
wing.
like just holding the neck
Lazy face
this
grab,
way.
like
Yeah.
and all pasty and buttery.
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 It's the only thing I can describe.
Pasty and buttery.
And he gets him in this, and he gets up, and then he hooks his arms. We're thinking, no, he's not going to do what we think he's going to do. And straight up, Tiger suplexed him out of his boots.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, all the spots that were cool in that match were 100% Brent Danielson's idea. Like,
And it was-
hey, you know
oh,
what
yeah.
we're doing? We're doing this.
And then Triple H just like, fine, because I know all these marks like
Yeah,
me,
oh,
so
yeah,
I'll just
Trips
do it
gets
for
it.
them.
Trips
Just
gets it.
reluctantly
Yeah.
going
Or
along
like
with all this
the,
stuff.
what was it, like the arm behind the back, and then he gave him the...
On the
on the
apron.
apron?
Yeah.
That was 100% Danielson's
that was
idea.
Yeah, that was nasty too.
Yeah, that was
wasn't-
gonna hurt.
Yeah, that was
The Tiger Suplex execution on Triple H's part
Oh, yeah.
wasn't great.
Okay,
But
to
Danielson
be-
jumped
He's
high enough.
never done one
to, yeah,
before.
to be fair, how many suplexes has Triple H done? in his
Zero
life?
ever.
Yeah.
So you
He's
know,
taking Germans.
yeah, give him a pass on that. And the thing is, I think he didn't care too much about the execution because he's 6 inches and 100 pounds more than Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan will just jump and it will.
Well,
look
yeah,
good.
he knew that Danielson
And-
was going to go.
And it
right?
did, and like
Yeah.
the take on the suplex looked great, so it was fine. But if you actually watch a Triple H doing, it's like he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's got the arms like way too wide.
Yeah, which is fine. But let me ask you a Scott Ackerman gotcha style question.
Oh no, I hate you. I hate your gotcha journalism.
I hate you, Kelly.
Who had a better Tiger suplex? Triple H on Danielson or Bradshaw on Men's Teo in 1998?
Bradshaw,
the,
Men's
oh,
Teo,
the
hands-
easiest question I've ever been
hands
asked.
down, hands down.
This is not one of your best gotchas, Kelly. Now, maybe it's just me, but for me, Bradshaw's Tiger Suplex on Men's Teo was maybe one of the best Tiger Suplexes of all time. Guys, go do yourselves a favor and pause the WrestleMania 30 that you're watching along as we review it. So pause it at the Tiger Suplex you just watched from Daniel Bryan and Triple H. Put it, now grab your VCR, put in your VHS copy of Over the Edge 98 that you got in that 4-pack, the Attitude 4-pack in 98 that I know you all have, and go to the best 3-on-2 match you've ever fucking seen Kai and Tai of Togoteo and Funaki, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against
so-
Bradshaw and Taka Michinoku. And holy shit, that match. It's Bradshaw beating up Foreigner. Bradshaw thinks he's single-handedly winning World War II by wrestling this match.
In a span of 2 minutes, there is a completely hard shot to the back.
Yeah.
He power bombs Funaki.
Hardest-
Hardest I've ever seen anyone get power bombed. Straight up clotheslines. I think Dick Togo in
Togo, I
the
think.
face as hard as he can,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
tiger suplexes, men's tail all the way across the ring.
It was the best, like, one-man house cleaning of another team that I've ever seen. Seriously, like, it's not like...
It's not a great match.
Well, no, it's not a great match, but we're not, like, being ironic or joking about it. Like, the stuff that goes on in it is legit great.
It's amazing.
So, do track it down, because it's pretty awesome. But anyway, back to the present, or last week, or whenever this match took place.
And then there came the false finish, which was the pedigree in the middle of the ring. And
Everyone got a little bit worried.
yeah, Dan stood up because Dan was
Yeah,
like,
Dan was like, "Oh no, they're not."
and then he kicked out. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, of course they're not going to do
Here's the
this.
thing. I'll say this because I'm fairly certain Dan will never listen to this. Dan bites on false finishes like a little bitch.
He does.
Like, Dan, it's not going to be the finish. I appreciate you getting into it, but...
It was a good false finish, though.
Oh, no, it was... Because you never know to what lengths, like...
And here's the thing. They could have done it. They're crazy enough to
That's
do
the
it.
thing. You never know to what lengths Triple H's, like, megalomaniacal
Yeah.
personality will go to.
So there could be some
Yeah.
form of rationale to doing that.
And there's definitely a couple worrying moments in the main event, too.
yeah.
That
So there
we'll
you go. So
get to. But yeah, straight up kicked out of the pedigree. Bunch of good stuff. And then backflipped out of... back suplex, I think, and backed up
Yeah.
to the corner and hit the knee and pinned him clean in the ring as he should have. And
and Stephanie was breaking her ankle apparently.
Oh yeah,
Stephanie, this whole, like, since she's been on TV regularly for this angle, has been killing it. Stephanie has been awesome as this shrieking cunt. She's been so good. Like, this is by far the best she's ever been in an on-screen role.
Yes.
Which, I'm pretty sure it's Stephanie. It could be Marty Jannetty. They're very similar looking.
Well, yeah, that's true. They are very close.
I don't know if she was replaced at some point. You know, I heard the original Stephanie died in 1991 and they replaced... So, our predicted star ratings for Daniel Bryan and Triple H were Kelly with 3 3/4.
Can I just make a suggestion?
You may.
That, it might help you if you turn the light on.
No, I'm gonna squint
You're
through
gonna
it.
squint through the dark. Okay.
Yep, I'm on it. Kelly with 3 3/4, Scott with 3 3/4, Drew with 4. The Meltzer rating on it was 4 1/4. What would you give it having seen it now? Did you undershoot or overshoot?
I believe that I gave it 4 1/4.
There you go. So you're pretty close. Kelly, you would give it?
I would give it your butt.
I'd give it 4 1/4.
I believe I gave it 4.5. I thought it was the best match on the show, and there's very little I would change about it. It was fantastic.
Fan fucking.
It didn't feel like there was a lot of matches at this WrestleMania.
There were 7 versus the usual 9 or 10,
Okay, yeah.
Because they needed to
because they needed to talk for half an hour, and
they needed to be some gay sex.
I was surprised. Not that it didn't deserve the time, and not that they didn't use the time well. I was surprised how long Brian and Trips went. They went had to be 25 minutes,
Yeah.
which was great. So yeah, next up was the Shield having a squash match.
Yeah, this is how I explained when Darren P asked me the matches. This is how I explained him the Shield versus them. I said, New Age Outlaws came out, were about to cut their promo, got cut off by the Shield, coming out to do their entrance. Kane came out, and then the Shield proceeded to beat them up for 2 minutes.
This was the definition of a get your shit in match.
Yeah.
The Shield, literally everyone hit their couple signature spots and pinned them and left.
Yeah.
Match time had to be, 120 seconds or less.
I want to say to you, I'm putting out an open challenge.
I'm putting out an APB.
I'm putting out an APB for an open challenge to anyone listening and everyone listening that next time you walk down a flight of stairs, hum the Shield theme in your head, and you feel like a total badass.
Sierra,
Because
Hotel,
I did it-
India, Echo.
I did it yesterday at work, like all 3 times I had to walk down the stairs. It's like a pretty long flight of stairs, and I felt like such a boss.
Man, I don't know how I haven't thought of that until now, but folks listening, that is the sound of your life getting better. That's awesome.
No, you're not APA.
Not APA.
Kelly, you're on the... You're the wrong team of enforcers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Always pounding ass, though.
Enforcers who wear black.
They do always pound ass.
The Hounds of Justice always pounding ass.
Yeah. That's Drew, that's fantastic. I'm very happy about that. I'm going to be doing that a lot in the next while.
Yeah.
But
You're welcome.
the match, Kane and the Outlaws did not do a single thing. Am I correct?
I think there was a few punches.
Okay.
That was it.
But no spots from them.
That's why they didn't get new gear.
And then they double power bombed the Outlaws.
Yeah.
Billy Gunn bursts a blood vessel in his stomach
What?
and,
That's
coughs
what- I
coughs
was-
up blood after the match.
Yeah.
In the back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy Gunn's body exploded.
Billy
by
Gunn was the
powerbomb.
first injury of the night.
Yes.
No, second, Stephanie. Stephanie rolling her ankle. No, sorry. Scott Armstrong landing on Stephanie
Yes.
outside the ring and rolling her ankle.
Yeah.
And then Billy Gunn coughing up blood.
I was really hoping that when Daniel did the tope onto the group, that Triple H was gonna pull Stephanie in front of him like a human shield and just make Stephanie catch the tope.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
But
funny.
there's not to be. But she probably would have been better off if she did, because as she did, a referee fell on her and she rolled her ankle.
Old man referee.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, not a ton to say about this. Like, the Shield looked good for what they did. It's too bad this was the match. I still wish it had been Shield Wyatt's 2 with like a gimmick or something.
Yeah, or that they would have let them do something, because, I mean, when the Shield against the Wyatts was just a brawl fest, it was super fun.
Yeah.
And Kane and the Outlaws are perfectly capable of brawling. I mean,
Yeah.
Road Dogg was the hardcore champion forever.
Yeah.
Like, or at least in the hardcore division forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're perfectly capable of brawling and having a good, like, fist fight.
Yeah, which is what I thought they would do. I don't think anyone knew this was going to be a squash.
No,
Like,
but-
I
but
think
we
people
should've-
thought this was going to go 10 minutes, not 2.
We should have figured, because almost every year there is that one match that goes
Yes.
incredibly short.
Yeah,
Because
that's
they're
true.
always super concerned
they-
about time.
Yeah, they like doing that.
And they can't move 2 matches to the pre-show, so one of them has to be short.
yeah.
Tribal Kane, Danielson, Sheamus,
Daniels and Sheamus.
Yeah.
Well, at least he got
the
some redemption.
core versus Random Faces.
Oh yeah, like that was an 8-man that went 3 minutes,
Yeah,
right?
like there's always one match.
Yeah.
Like we need to remember that every year.
We need to remember. Never forget.
Never
in
forget
fact.
it. Sorry, never forget. 8/11. You don't know what I was doing on August 11th.
Fardo. So we probably, the way the match went, we probably all overshot with our star
Big
ratings.
time, big time.
Drew with 3.5, Kelly and Scott both with 3. Which is probably what it would have been if they had had an actual match. But as it was, they went for 2 minutes, so I don't know if I can give them 3. I would probably, I don't have what I wrote in front of me, but
It's very hard for
I'd
you.
probably give them 2.
Well, it's very hard to give this a good rating
Because it was
because
just...
because nothing happened,
Yeah.
right? Like
Like
what are
all,
you basing it on?
all their spots were good.
Yeah, like
it was 2
nobody
minutes,
blew any
though.
spots and everybody like got their shit in, but it was super short, so it's really hard to give it a thing.
It is very hard to
You told me that you gave it 2 stars.
Yeah.
Ira concurred with you and said I give it 2 stars,
There you go.
I would also give it 2 stars.
but only for the lack of anything happening.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's
I think it could have been fine.
it's like
Oh,
it's like a 2 stars out of the maximum of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not a maximum
Yeah, for a
of
match,
5 stars.
yeah, for a
because you
match
can't-
that long, if they had gone like just crazy balls to the wall and done a billion things and it was all perfect, that would have been 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
like if there was some kind of crazy like dive spot
Yeah.
or something, or like a bunch of cool finishing maneuvers,
Yeah.
then the highest it could have gone was 3 because it was only 2 minutes
Yeah,
long.
but a 2-minute match. It's physically impossible to have a 5-star 2-minute match. You can't do it.
Unless it's
Try as you might.
Claudio and Quackenbush, and then it could be a 5-star match in a minute.
They probably could. Yeah. Just
You can't see it, but we're making motions of a typical Claudio Quackenbush match.
I believe those are the motions of the Rana into somersault powerbomb.
Yes.
Yeah.
among other things.
Stand on the chest, toss up, do a flip.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, from
and
standing
then
on the
flip
chest.
all the way through into a
Yeah.
power bomb. Like, crazy.
Fucking
Crazy.
He's got to find someone in the E to do that with. Tyson Kidd?
No, I don't think Tyson Kidd's as good as Quackenbush. I hate to tell you that, Scott. I hate to ruin Tyson Kidd for you.
No, I know.
But he's not like Quackenbush.
I know. It's got to be that.
I'm sure that there's somebody who is athletic enough that
He's done it with Evan Bourne, not in the E, and Evan Bourne doesn't wrestle anymore.
I wonder if there's a Twitter account for still employed Evan Bourne.
There should be a Twitter account for last time he was on TV, Evan Bourne.
I'm gonna look
which
it up
has
while
to
we're
be
2011.
it's 11 or 12. I'm gonna give benefit of the doubt and say 12, but it's been at least 2 years.
I'm looking it up right now. Keep talking. I'll find out the
keep
answer.
talking. So, and Meltzer completely agreed with us and also gave it 2 stars. So that was the Shield Squash. Next up, where if there was any question as to if this show was overachieving, the Battle Royal.
Oh my God.
Oh, oddly enough, Evan Bourne tweeted less than an hour ago at M-Dog. Because M-Dog's on that Ninja Warrior show.
Right.
And before that, it looks like he seems to tweet like pretty regularly.
Well, yeah, he's not doing anything else.
Doesn't
Doesn't have his tweeting time interrupted by wrestling.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm okay. Let's see. Apparently, he's not cleared to wrestle.
Why? Because he got a concussion in the last decade?
I don't know. Just says that he's... Oh, this person says that he has been cleared to wrestle for some time.
Yeah.
No word when he will officially return. Hopefully soon. That was 2 days ago.
Smart money's on never.
Nope, that's not a thing. All right. Well, anyways, continue talking,
All right.
and I'll get back on any breaking Evan Bourne news that I find.
Good, thank you. So the Battle Royal, I remember in talking about it leading up to Mania, I thought it was kind of weird that they just decided to not give a bunch of like fairly big guys any storyline and just chuck them all in the Battle Royal. Well, as a result of that, got a really good Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Like I was saying to Kelly the other day, it was markedly better than the Royal Rumble.
Yes, much better.
Like way better. Like the Rumble, I would give, I don't know, 2-ish stars, 2 and change. Which is kind of what we all expected for this. Drew said 2.5. Kelly and Scott both said 2. And Meltzer ended up giving it 3. I would give it more. I would give it.
I give it 3.25.
It was. I gave it 3.25 or 3.5. I don't remember.
3.25.
I gave 3.25.
And I gave...
That's right, 3.25.
And I gave it 3.5.
Yeah.
Also, it gets an extra bump for me because as much as it's like predictable and expected, Kofi did something insane.
Kofi
Like
absolutely
How did that
did
break his
something-
ankles?
That float like over the bar or
Yes.
the post and down to the floor. Like I wouldn't want to take that goddamn bump.
It was scary as shit.
but he that was crazy.
It was amazing. He like pulled it off perfectly. Like,
He clearly was not supposed to fall,
No.
but he covered it up.
but I think he.
I feel like he was supposed to land on his feet on the
Yeah.
steps.
Maybe, but I think he accounted for the falling.
Yeah.
Like in the planning of the spot,
Yeah.
I'm sure he knew like there's a chance I can fall.
Yeah, and he kept his feet on the
Kept
stairs.
his
and
feet on the
that's
stairs.
all that mattered.
Yeah.
So
It was crazy.
So it kind of sounds like, from what I've gathered from the interwebs, that Evan Bourne's cleared to wrestle. He's been at every NXT taping for like the whole year.
Huh.
They just haven't like had anything for him to do. So he's like been showing up and working out, and I guess maybe he's like
I'm here, guys.
He's like working with guys in the back. But yeah, he hasn't done like they just have nothing for him, or maybe they just don't feel like he's healthy enough to wrestle yet. But that's what I've gathered.
Do we have his last TV appearance?
We'll look that up as you continue to talk.
All right. Any other Battle Royal thoughts? Well, I guess we got to talk about the finish. Because they kept playing up Big Show so big in the lead up to it, so it was obvious that he wasn't going to win. But it was cool how they did it because they had him come down to the last two and end up putting over the guy that won, which was Claudio Cesaro, whatever, who picked up fucking Big Show like he was nothing.
Yeah.
Which was amazing, and dumped him over the top rope, and the crowd exploded. Cesaro definitely moved up in the star power department.
Yep. Here's something else. I know Kelly watched this on SmackDown. Because he got him up for the neutralizer.
Yeah.
Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
Which is impressive.
Yes.
Did it not look like Claudio's knee buckled though when he got him up there?
Just about.
It looked like Claudio was about to go
But he
down.
still pulled it off.
Like he got it, but it looked scary for a second.
And like usually like when you give someone like a cradle pile driver like sort of position, you get them up first, then you hook the
Yes.
the
Claudio,
fingers.
Claudio doesn't though.
Claudio doesn't do that, and that's
He goes
He
hard.
goes cradle from the
he
beginning.
goes for the
because-
crotch first.
Yeah, because that's hard to maintain a certain balance. Because I've
Yeah.
tried it, and it's like you get them up there. I mean, and doing that on the Big Show is like even more impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nuts. And yeah, there's lots of other good, like some actual good spots in the match, some good eliminations. I think they've done it before, but I liked the Dolph goes to skin the cat and then gets super kicked in the head halfway through the skin the cat by Del Rio, and that was his elimination. Speaking of Dolph, he was your pick to win, Kelly.
He was.
Why?
I didn't want
Did you
to
not know that they're completely burying you?
Oh, I knew that he wasn't going to win, but I was
Okay.
just like, you know what? I don't want to fucking pick the Big Show because
Yeah.
that's too fucking obvious.
Yeah.
I want to pick someone because they're crazy enough to pick someone who is completely not even,
It's true.
wouldn't even do it. So I'm like, I know he's not going to win. I'll pick him anyway just for the fucking sake of it. And plus, he was the most recent person I remember saying how he was going to win the Royal Rumble. So I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'll just go with him.
Yeah.
And then, but if I had known, like, obviously Claudio was the...
Yeah, none of us knew that Claudio was in
if
it.
we had known Claudio was in it, I would have
Someone
picked
would
him.
have picked him, yeah, for sure. I had picked Sheamus. Did you pick Big Show?
Here's the thing. I think I said Big Show, but then when we were talking about it, I was like, no, it'll probably be fucking Shame. So I think I picked Sheamus.
Yeah.
I really wanted Torito to be in that match.
Me too.
Yeah.
Breaking Evan news.
Ooh.
Evan Bourne news. So his last appearance on TV was on January 15th, 2012.
Oh, just made it to 2012.
Air Boom lost the WWE Tag Team titles to Primo Neptune
Air
at a
Boom.
house show. The following night on Raw, Air Boom was awarded a rematch, but failed to regain the championship. The following day, he was suspended for 60 days for his second failure of the wellness policy.
Which is why they lost the tag titles.
In March 2012, he was involved in a car accident which broke his foot in 4 places
Whoa.
and dislocated it in 5.
Ooh, that's a fucked up foot.
After a year-long absence, Bourne returned on March 28th, 2013 at an NXT Live event, defeating Sami Zayn, and he has not
Be a
yet
good match.
returned to television.
Wow.
So, March 2013.
But that wasn't TV.
That was the last time he wrestled for the company.
That was wrestling anywhere, but that wasn't even televised. His last televised was January 2012. Which is
Have
A
you
long
seen
time ago.
Sami Zayn's pants? His tights?
Yep.
How they have all the flags from all over the world?
Oh
on
yeah,
it,
yeah. He's very
and, like,
multicultural.
And then like Arabic
Yeah.
is writing on the back.
Yeah, same. Yeah, so Evan Bourne, he was good. He didn't really get to do a lot in and yeah. So that's odd. So they had, so he obviously failed the policy. So they had to get the.
Is that for fake weed or for roids?
Maybe weed. I don't think he
Yeah, it was weed.
fucked with roids that
Well, I
much.
think both were weed.
Yeah, they were. So it's weird because they had to get the tag titles off them. So they had them lose it at a house show, presumably because they had to get rid of Bourne immediately. But then they give them a rematch on TV the next night and have them lose. Why not just have them lose on the TV show?
Those are dumb.
Okay.
Because they need you to go to the house shows, and you never know. Titles could change in a house show. TNA taught you that.
TNA did teach me that for the stupidest reasons.
Let's not also forget that Evan Bourne was part of Wrestling Society X, so just saying.
just saying. That deserves another season. I know it's been 7 years since season 1, but I think we're due for season 2. Need more explosions in my life.
We need more M-Dog wrestling because he's jacked as shit.
Yeah, he's shredded.
Yeah.
So
that was it for the Battle Royal.
That was Battle Royal. That was probably the most overachieving match of the show, actually.
I think the thing that I'm glad didn't happen is they didn't do the same thing that they've done twice in Royal Rumbles, which was have Cody or Goldust eliminate the other one, tease a breakup, and then we're fine,
never
we're fine,
follow
we're
it
cool,
up.
we're cool.
Yeah, this one they just had...
They came close. Like, they both got thrown under the apron.
Yeah.
And then, they did, somebody eliminated Goldust.
Del Rio eliminated both. They just had Del Rio destroy the Rhodes Brothers.
That's true. Well, Del Rio is better than the Rhodes.
I don't know if that's true.
It's not true, because I hate Alberto Del Rio. I think he's garbage.
I was going to say...
And Cody and Goldust are great.
Yeah, Goldust is
Which
great.
brings me to the point of how mad I still am that they were not in that tag team match in the Los Matadores tour, because they're not fucking over, but it's fine.
Yeah, what the fuck happened to Cody and Goldust?
Maybe they did something we don't know about. Maybe Dusty did something to piss off somebody.
Maybe.
Dusty's an idiot.
Want to see my jumbo?
I do not want to see his jumbo.
Come on now.
Pepper Jack?
Come on, Pepper Jack.
He's too busy fondling Senshi.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck me, Duster.
You guys are gross.
Dusty and Senshi gay together. Whatever.
It's a good tag team.
Anyways.
Which brings us to John Cena and Bray Wyatt. In a weird match for John Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
but
he needed a match at WrestleMania.
Needed a match at WrestleMania.
Needed a match at WrestleMania and needed to keep him out of the title picture.
Yep. Good. And good for Bray Wyatt getting a fucking match with John Cena at WrestleMania. That's good for his career. Yeah, I thought it was good. I think it would have been better if they had cut out some of the opening 5+ minutes where they just kind of worked a bunch of holds.
Yeah. That was a crowd killer.
Yeah, they didn't need to go as long as they did. But as it got going, it was good. I thought the finish was good. I thought it was weird that Cena won, but I guess Cena has to win because the rules are the rules.
Unless he's facing The Rock, 'cause I think he's won all of his WrestleMania matches except against The Rock. And The Miz.
Probably.
But that was a double D.
But that was to set up The Rock.
That's true.
Yeah, because he'd be Big Show, JBL, Triple H, Shawn.
3-way, he lost.
Lost in 3-way,
he
but
did.
probably didn't get pinned.
I don't remember.
And then one Edge Big Show, one Batista, and then Miz Rock. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, he does win a lot of Mania.
Cena and Bray went 23 minutes.
Huh.
Yeah, if it had gone 17, it would have been a great match instead of a good to very good match. I would say.
Good. I'm glad Cena didn't get hurt this time. Good counter leg drop powerbomb.
Oh yeah,
Top rope rope thing.
great powerbomb.
Yeah.
Like really good.
He also did the dive to the outside to the other two, and he didn't bitch out and just do the kind of full on
fall over the
he,
top
actually
rope.
Jumped and turned
Yeah.
sideways, which was really cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Cena fucking gets it.
Yeah, finally. But, yeah, there are lots of good stuff in the match. Bray doing the spider walk to counter Cena's fist drop.
That was cool.
Was fucking awesome. I read one for another awesome Bray thing. I wish I could take credit for it, but just some line on a message for it I read. Cradling a dude's head in your lap whilst singing devotional songs is exactly what should happen in wrestling. I was like, oh man, you could not have put that better. I feel like the more, I don't know if it's just the more I watch or the older I get or what, but
Gary did?
What?
Sorry, continue.
No, that's pretty static. The more I appreciate the non-wrestling aspects of things, like two of my favorite things on this show were Bray being a creep and Triple H's entrance. Like I've less focused on wrestling quality is still important. I feel like I'm less focused on it though, just because I like the other shit. Because wrestling's the only place where you can do that because it's basically all just performance art.
Whoa. Unless you're Mayhem or Sakuraba or something.
Yeah.
But yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just wanted to cut you off because I hate you.
Thanks.
But yeah, this match, I didn't really have high hopes for it because Brody's had some good matches, but his good matches are against guys who can carry him. Namely Daniel Bryan.
And the Shield.
And the Shield, right? Like, guys who can carry matches. And Cena can carry matches to the extent of he has 5 moves and does those 5 moves.
Yeah. Well, Cena's like a good main event style worker.
Yeah. And so I wasn't super hopeful of that.
Yeah.
The two of them would mesh that well on the big stage with, like, neither one of them really being able to, like, take it and run with it. Right? Because Cena can, but Cena's abilities are only so far, right?
Yeah.
And Wyatt still, even though he's been around for a while, is still kind of green. Like, he's getting better, but he's still pretty, like, raw with his, like, you know, a lot of his moves and a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really convinced that they would mash well together on WrestleMania. I think it was better than I thought it was going to be, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would be, like, okay, it would be kind of watchable, but there was a lot of cool stuff in it.
Yeah, there's definitely
for sure there was a lot of cool stuff in it. Although I will say I'm not sure that I'm super glad that Cena won. I know that he had to because they wanted to, like, prove that he wasn't what Bray had said he was, and that he could prove to everybody that he was, like, he could win and he could beat this, like, evil guy.
I feel like they could have told the story with Bray winning, though, but I guess they want to extend the program. Although normally extend the program by having the heel win, and then the face wins at the end. They're, like, doing it backwards.
Yeah, I guess they're going to do a match at Extreme Rules, right?
Yeah, they are.
But anyways, I don't think that Cena should have won, but I guess it doesn't really matter either way because they can still continue it on.
Yeah.
With either one, but I did feel like that Wyatt should have won the match.
Yeah, and that's I think all 3 of it. No, you predicted Cena, Kelly.
I did predict Cena
because Cena wins everything.
Because he wins everything,
and you were right.
Yes.
So good for you.
Yeah. I wanted.
Yeah,
to win,
yeah, for sure.
But I was definitely more surprised. It was definitely a lot better than I was expecting it to be, and it was a lot longer than I was expecting it to be. 23. Like I said, it cut 5 minutes, and it's at least half a star better.
It was barely shorter than the main.
Yeah. Yeah. It just. I know. I guess they just felt they should have a.
But it's also Cena too.
A pay-per-view main event length match.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need to.
You know what really didn't help them for time? Fucking Randy Orton's entrance being sung. The entire song was sung in its entirety
by a band that nobody knows.
You don't know Rev Theory, dude?
Well, I know Hell Yeah and Randy Orton's theme.
We where we watched Mania because we had a Mania Civil War. Drew Kelly and Dan watched one place. I watched another place with a couple other ISUXDIX adjacent
faggots.
People.
Faggots.
I don't know
faggots.
If they're faggots,
faggots
per se.
Was Red Money there?
No, he's a faggot.
He is a faggot. He's the worst kind of faggot.
But Orton's entrance, and I guess we could talk about this when we actually talk about the main, but most of Orton's entrance, which was the entire song, we all spent debating what band it was. Because nobody knew. We're like, okay, it could be Disturbed. But then one guy sort of knew what one guy from Disturbed looked like, and it wasn't them.
David Draymond, yeah. He's blonde, he's bald head.
You don't need to brag about knowing the name of someone in Disturbed.
That thing that comes out and it's got the 2 claws that go down over his chin. Yeah, probably is.
All right, that's
fucking
enough.
Disturbed, #1 band right here.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of a lot of new rock names were thrown out, and no one landed on.
What do you got? Shinedown?
No one landed on. I don't know if Shinedown came up. Yeah, Disturbed definitely came up.
Dope.
Who the fuck else? I think Theory of a Dead Man came up.
Theory of a Shit Man.
Theory of a Shit Man.
Reference Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah, quite a few. Yeah, nobody ended up on Rev Theory because Rev Theory's never done anything besides this. So if you don't know that they're the ones who sing Orton's theme song, you don't know them.
I did like the Wyatt's entrance though.
Yes, great,
Voodoo
great.
Voodoo Lady was great.
And
I think also an NXT developmental girl.
Yeah,
I figured. Yeah,
I feel like the Wyatts are just it's a trio of stink.
Yeah, all of the Wyatts definitely smell. As part of the gimmick or not. They definitely smell.
It's the beards and the fact that Brody Lee's clothes look like
never been washed.
Are intentionally not washed.
Yeah.
Like they're like, okay, take it off, put it in this bag. Okay, you get it. You'll get it tomorrow at the next show.
Put it back on tomorrow.
Put it back on.
Just gross, but it works. I'm actually kind of looking forward to the Wyatts breaking up because I think it's going to be good all around. Because I think Bray is fine by himself. I think Harper is going to do great by himself, and I think Rowan will probably go away. So that's
Rowan is completely forgettable.
yeah, that's a win-win-win. And man, if you like, because people just look at Rowan and see a big, tall, bald guy with a red beard, but if you look at his face, he looks fucking crazy. He has like big, pointy elf ears and buck teeth.
Yeah.
It's not even, they're not even buck teeth. They're like like razor teeth.
I don't even know if it's the teeth or if he's got like a hair lip or something and that's what he's hiding with the beard.
Maybe.
But he is goddamn crazy looking. He like his mom definitely drank. Like definitely. You don't get ears like that with a sober mom. I'm sorry.
Maybe his dad was an elf.
Dad could have been an elf.
Dad was Legolas.
Maybe he was a toilet baby.
Maybe he's are.
What did we give it?
Oh yeah, so here's what we thought we'd give it. Drew thought he would give it 2.5. Kelly thought he would give it 3. I thought I'd give it 3.25. Drew, of your 2.5, how accurate were you?
Well, I said that I gave it 3.5.
There you go. Kelly?
I'll bump it up to 1/4.
3.25. I also gave 3.5. I thought it was the third best match on the show behind the 2 Amdrag matches. So yeah, we all...
Who's Amdrag?
I don't know.
Oh, get out of here, Tristan.
Yeah, so we all undershot, and Meltz agreed, 3.5.
The cheese.
Rat boys.
Actually, speaking of rat boys, I think that's what Rowan is. I think Rowan is a giant rat boy.
Yeah, him and Connor O'Brien.
Him and Connor.
Rat boy team.
Oh, that'd be a good team.
Team of rats.
Buck teeth and pointy ears.
Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat.
Next up. Oh man, next up.
Next up.
So when I post our episodes, I post the YouTube link, a download link, and like just a sentence about it or whatever, usually something amusing. So for episode 8.5, the one directly preceding this, I wrote, The Undertaker will beat Brock Lesnar and other bold opinions, being sarcastic, because of course this streak is going to continue.
Of course.
Undertaker's not going to lose this one. Undertaker may never lose, certainly not this one, to a part-time 36-year-old.
Yeah.
Makes no sense, right?
Right.
So...
Because he was going to lose it to a 56-year-old the next year.
He was not going to lose it to fucking Sting. So Brock won.
Now,
Everyone lost their mind.
I will say that here's the thing. This, no matter where wrestling... I said this to many people. No matter where wrestling goes in the next 20, 30 years, this is one of the most historic things that will ever happen in wrestling.
This is our JFK getting shot.
Yeah.
Exactly, because, you know, like, even now, let's say, like, we started right now, and, well, I can't even say Fandango anymore, because he lost. But
AJ streak.
Fandango streak.
Okay, but speaking of that, Jericho posted a hilarious picture on Facebook after WrestleMania, and his comment was, never forget where you were the day the streak ended, and it was a picture of Fandango, and it said 1-1.
Yeah,
it was amazing. But anyways, like, regardless of, like, I can't think of anybody who, like, okay, Cesaro.
Yeah.
He wasn't on last year, right?
Probably not.
Was he in some kind of pre-match garbage?
What would he been?
He was U.S. champion, wasn't he?
They hadn't formed Real Americans yet. He might have defended the U.S. successfully in the pre-show. That's all I got.
No, because The Miz won it in the pre-show last year.
Mm.
Or he won the Intercontinental from Wade Barrett.
Yes, he did.
Okay, so he wasn't on last year.
Wasn't on.
So let's assume that right now Cesaro's 1-0.
Sure.
Right? No, I'm saying,
Yeah.
right? Like, even if we look back in 20 years and Antonio Cesaro is 21-0, let's just say it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's never going to mean as much as The Undertaker's. Because The Undertaker was the first one to do it, right?
Yeah.
And it was part of, like, the history of wrestling was always, you know, you have Ric Flair's titles, like the amount of titles he had held.
Yeah.
And you have, like, everything that Austin did to change wrestling.
The amount of dicks Missy Hyatt sucked.
Yeah, absolutely. And The Undertaker's streak, right? And then the fact is, like, there's never going to be anything that equals that.
No, the streak was
Ever
100%
again.
more important than the world title.
Absolutely. Like, that was the thing that every year you knew that there's going to be an Undertaker match at WrestleMania, and for the most part, we always knew that he was going to win. Like, there was lots of years where we're like, he's not
not
it's,
gonna lose.
it's a 100% guarantee.
Mark Henry is not going to break
He's
the
not
streak.
losing a
Yeah.
casket match to Mark Henry, right?
Yeah.
Like, there were a few years like the Orton, the Edge, Batista where
Punk,
you
Punk to a degree.
Punk,
yeah.
and you kind of had some questions, but like now, like I'm kind of glad that it did happen because every year it had kind of become to the point where you're like, okay, Taker wins, and then next year he has another match like against whoever, and he wins
Yeah.
and whatever, right? And now I honestly hope that was Undertaker's last match.
I think, because he lost, I think it has to be. I don't know why he would have lost if it wasn't his last match. That doesn't really make sense.
Apparently it was his idea.
Yeah, he wanted to lose to Brock.
Yeah, he was the one that suggested it, right? So if he was suggesting losing, then obviously he's telling them something like... Because if he had won, I don't know, I'm just going to speculate. If he had won, they would have obviously wanted him to wrestle next year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this was his way of saying, okay, if I've lost, I'm fucking done, I'm out.
Yeah.
And now they don't have to force him to wrestle at WrestleMania. Although WrestleMania next year is on his 50th birthday.
Really?
It's the day of his 50th birthday.
I did not know that. That's
So I don't know if they're going to do something. But honestly, if I'm him, he's got a kid now, like a youngish kid, with Michelle McCool.
Weird.
And like, I would imagine that he doesn't want to go out there. I mean, especially because he got hurt in this match. Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine that he wants to go out there and wrestle at 50.
Probably not.
Like, there's very few guys who have even wrestled at 50.
Yeah.
I mean, Hogan, Vince, Ric Flair,
Flair.
Sting. But like, nobody...
Fujiwara.
nobody to the level of Undertaker's, because all of his matches are once a year, but they're always the highest level of intensity and performance level, right?
Yeah.
Because they're always at WrestleMania.
Well, going back, like, the Taker's previous 5 matches at Mania were his best 5.
Yeah.
His matches from ages 44 through 48 were his best.
His best matches, yeah.
Yeah.
And now, going to 50, I can't imagine that, like, because this match was good, but it did not top the last 5 years.
It wasn't close.
And it wasn't even close to, like, maybe, it wasn't even, I don't know if it's in his top 10. I
don't
mean,
know.
there was some cool stuff in it,
Oh, yeah, but it's on Facebook.
but it wouldn't let me go back for some
doesn't work.
stupid reason.
Like I remember when it happened, and what was going on?
Keep going.
Okay,
He's looking on Facebook to find the thing.
When it happened, we, and I'm sure you said you, and like
He texted me
everyone,
and said,
we all stood up.
Everyone's like, I was like, the guys I was watching with, for the 2 of them in particular, are very cynical, like fringe wrestling fans at this point in their life at best.
Shane and
Kyle.
Oh, Kyle,
Yeah. Kevin's not cynical. Kevin's a lot of things. I wouldn't put cynical high on the list.
Good call.
But all of us stood the fuck up when it happened.
Yeah.
And we were like, whoa. Like,
we
couldn't
popped-
believe it.
We popped to our feet. Like, all 3 of us were, like, up.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
hands on our heads, like, silence. Like,
Yeah. Like, what happened?
I will never forget an arena of 70,000 people going quiet.
Silent.
Yeah,
Silent.
It was...
Crazy.
It was...
And the looks on their faces, especially that guy up the front.
The black guy.
Ooh!
with the bug eyes. He's become a meme already.
Oh yeah, already.
He was already on At Midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they... Yeah.
And
Daily Show, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
um,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and they stayed that way until the main event.
Yep.
Because no one could still believe it, and everyone was fucking confused. Because no one, did he kick out? Was this a blown finish? What happened?
Yeah.
And like, oh no, he beat him.
He
And like,
did?
the graphic goes up.
Yeah.
And holy shit, this happened.
Yeah, like, it was, like, no matter what happens now, like, that's probably, like, there are very few memories of wrestling that I will, like, never forget the moment where I was and what happened.
Yeah.
That's
Chris Benoit winning the
big
Royal
one.
Rumble.
Darren Pease.
Chris Benoit
Ryan
winning
Briggs.
the world title.
Darren Pease.
This.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of other ones that I will remember as vaguely, or, like, as, like, embedded into my brain as that one, right? Like,
I was really hoping the third one on that list would have been Chris Benoit killing his family.
I don't remember where it was for that, because I don't
We were
want,
in Washington. Kelly and I.
I don't want to remember where it was for
I don't
that.
Yep.
think we were.
Absolutely.
I think this was after, because I remember getting a phone call from Howitzer and him telling me the day it happened. I was definitely at home.
Well, because the day was a pay-per-view, and maybe it was like the night that we came home, but we were in Washington that day.
Okay.
I don't want to remember where I was because that's a horrible part of my life.
Yeah.
But those three things are something that like I'll never forget where I was when those three things happened.
Here was the weird thing I found about Lesnar beating him. So I get they're friends and you want him to be with stuff like that. But as Drew's making a
finger
going
in.
into a whole motion. Wait,
Buttle to buttle.
okay,
butt to butt. I love
the
it.
butt. Soup bones, but the butt. The real soup bones.
Bumping starfish.
Because as we talked about before in the previous WrestleMania podcast, the only time we thought the streak was a legitimate threat was Orton.
Yeah.
And which made sense because Orton was up and coming. It would have established
He was young.
He was young. If you beat the streak, you're set for life.
You're made.
Right? You're made.
Yeah.
You forever have that. No one can ever take that away. Your stock skyrockets and what have you, and you're established. Lesnar didn't need that.
No.
Because he was 100% already established.
And
all that
he's
stuff.
maybe one of the worst guys to capitalize on this
Yeah.
with, because he works 3 shows a year.
Yeah.
And we talked about this yesterday at the movie, where can they go with this as far as Lesnar? Because it seems like they want to give Lesnar a title run, but if they give it to him now, that either means that it's a no-win situation, because it either means Danielson has a 1-month title reign, which is going to piss off a lot of people, or it means Lesnar's going to lose, which makes him beating the
kills
streak
it.
pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lesnar Bryan is a great match that can't happen.
Yeah.
What they need, the only option that I can think of to me is that they have to keep Bryan busy with other people. They have to give him a rematch with Orton, maybe a rematch with Batista, maybe a match with Trips or something.
Yeah.
They have to keep him busy, and they either have to just keep Brock off for a while and just say that Brock's, he's done with wrestling because he beat the streak and now he's off hunting and
accomplished
fishing
everything, blah, blah, blah.
and then have somebody do something where he has to come back.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
and
why...
then SummerSlam he does something with somebody bigger, right? Like maybe if they can convince The Rock to wrestle or something, right? Like give him something big and important to do so they don't have to do it. They can prolong it as long as possible, and then maybe at the end of the year or maybe even Rumble or Mania next year, finally have the two of them meet.
Yeah.
Because if they do it early ahead of time, it's going to be the same thing. Like, by no means am I comparing CM Punk and Ryback to Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan because they are.
It's the same idea.
But the same idea is like Ryback was getting really big.
He was undefeated.
More than they thought. Like they didn't think he was going to get that over. He was undefeated, and they're like, "Oh shit, we have to do this." Yeah. And then they do the schmoz finish, and Ryback was dead. Immediately dead. He's never been anything since then.
Completely killed him.
He was like a mid-card jobber. He had like a title match that meant nothing.
Yep.
And then he's a tag team wrestler. Like he's
a tag team jobber.
A tag team jobber, yeah. He's nothing now because they had to do that, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like if they do the same thing with this, they're not going to win.
Maybe that's why they've put Cesaro with Heyman, because now Heyman...
So Heyman has something to do.
Yeah.
Heyman can stand
Even though
on TV.
Cesaro is a complete face.
Oh, and he did a complete heel thing last night. Yeah. He beat up Big Show after you think it was his
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I think because they want it's the same thing with Coulter, right? Like they want Heyman on TV, but if Brock's not there, they need him on TV, so they just put him with Cesaro so that he's on TV.
Yeah,
and then Brock will come back at some point. Like I don't know what there is left for Brock to do. He's already faced Cena. He's already faced Trips. Like they're not going to make him face Batista or Orton because they're all heels.
Yeah.
Like so, I don't know what they have for him. Maybe that's why they're just not going to use him for a while.
Yeah.
Keep him off TV. Just he's been out partying and knocking up Sable and like
climbing on top of his wife,
hunting and drinking and fishing and
gonna drink a Bud Light. No, gonna drink a Coors because Bud Light sucks.
Because they won't give me any money. They won't sponsor them.
Yeah.
But yeah, this.